Hello and welcome to Education World. This is Reshma and I have with me Lina Ashar today. Lina is an entrepreneur, educationist, author who is widely recognized as the founder of Kangaroo Kids Education Ltd, which was founded in 1993, and also the Billabong High International School. To tell you a little bit more about Lina, she is from Mumbai. She has a Bachelor's of Education from Victoria University, Australia. She began her career as a teacher in a local school, and that was when she realized that the entire education system in India needed to be revamped. Her work has earned her several accolades and recognitions. Some of her awards include the award being the Women Entrepreneur of the Year, awarded by Education Times in 2012, the Education Entrepreneur of the Year award by Indian Education Congress in 2015, and the Karamveer Puraskar by the International Confederation of NGOs in 2017. Now, one of the main reasons we have her with us today is to discuss about her new venture, which is the Dreamtime Learning School, a one of its kind education first school, which works on a hybrid learning model. Welcome, Lina.
It's great to be here. I think in all the awards you spoke about, you forgot the EducationWorld Lifetime Achievement Award, which
I'm sure that's the most heard about.
which is very dear to me. And when I received it from Dilip, I said, "Hey, my work's not over yet. Let's see what award EducationWorld can come up with that beats the Lifetime Achievement Award, because I'm going to do a way lot more."
That's great to know. So, you've started your new venture, which is this Dreamtime Learning School. So, you say this is going to offer hybrid education. So, can you tell me how unique is it, and what's the response been like so far?
If you look at Dreamtime Learning just as an engine hub
Mhm.
that can go into anything like an Intel inside your computer. So it can go into a Dell computer or an Apple computer. It can go into any computer. If you think about Dreamtime Learning as a learning engine, which includes the software and also the platform,
Okay.
right? So which allows us now to go into various formats. We can go into an existing school, and it becomes powered by Dreamtime Learning.
Okay.
We are putting it in our own. So we've got a micro school in Hyderabad in Jubilee Hills, which is a Dreamtime Learning Hub. It's
Okay.
only for 120 kids, and it's a personalized learning school. And we can also use it for kids to learn online.
Okay. Okay. So, during your journey as an edupreneur, you've also established Kangaroo Kids. Now, how different is Dreamtime?
So when I started Kangaroo Kids, you have to remember it was 1993.
Okay.
And then when I started Billabong High, it was the year 2000.
Okay.
We were at the end of the industrial age, and we were coming into the knowledge age, right? We are at the end of that age, right? If knowledge is no longer king, content
Okay.
is no longer king, and we're at the cusp of, um, you know, a conceptual age where everything that's valued is going to be highly different. So
Okay.
one of the unique things about Dreamtime Learning as an engine is, say, for example, in grade 1 and grade 2, we finish the learning experience at a much heightened level, which includes your habits of mind. It includes, self-mastery, self-regulation, being in control of and having the tools and strategies to sort of monitor your emotional state. And so while you can't control the world out there, we teach kids you can control the world inside. You finish learning in half the time.
Okay.
And so it allows multiple things to happen. Say, for example, a school takes us, right? An existing school. It allows the school to do one of two things. It allows the school to become a personalized learning school,
Okay.
which means you finish your content plus, 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 plus in half the time.
Okay.
And then you've got the rest of the day to create a personalized learning outcome tracker for each kid. We call it a plot,
Okay.
in which every child we sit with,
Mm-hmm.
we have questions, we have a process, and then based on where the child's interest is, what the child's burning questions are about
Okay.
the world, the universe, anything, we create that personalized learning outcome track. So we
Okay.
never ask kids, who do you want to be when you grow up? We actually ask them, what do you want to be, in the sense of, in terms of your being, how do you want to feel when you're an adult? What are the experiences you want to have, right? What are the aspirations you have for yourself and for the world around you? And based on that, we create this. Second is a very high level of specialization. So being an ordinary doctor is no longer going to cut it. I'm going to have to be a highly specialized kind of doctor. If I'm in sport, I'm going to have to be the best at golf, or the best at bowling or batting or whatever it is. So the second is highly specialized. The third is deep questions that make me develop a subset of skills. Like when I thought about Hitler and how he could sort of do these massive mind shifts in people to do the kind of atrocities that they did. And I said, the same can be used for good. It's no use me teaching kids anything unless I'm preparing them to interact in the world as adults.
Absolutely. While we are at this topic about behavioral sciences and we're talking about EQ, social skills is one important aspect. And during these 2 years of pandemic-induced shutdown of schools, this was one primary concern that parents expressed. That children not being in school means less of social skills, minimized peer interactions, etc. Now, you were saying you work on a hybrid model. How are you going to address all this?
Right. So first, I just want to clarify that there's a difference in social interaction and physical interaction.
Okay.
The second thing is what parents experienced during the pandemic was offline schools going online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same pedagogy, it's the same flow. Even if teachers had great curriculum that they were depending on, they still had to now transact that online. They didn't have the tools and resources ready to do that. We make learning really engaging, exciting, and fun because we understand the neuroscience of attention, and that's how we accelerate the learning. And we use that neuroscience of attention to keep kids attentive for the entire period of time. Right?
Okay. So
sorry. So social interaction and physical interaction different. Having said that, do we want kids to even physically interact? And give a high five and hugs and all of that? Yes. Now we're doing that in a remarkable way because we're doing that saying, okay, you do your learning online, your core plus. Now when you come together in the physical space, it's like you're going to a science museum overseas. So we create the space in schools on the weekends.
Okay.
For kids to come in and do things that they normally wouldn't do. So it could be technology-based projects. It could be art and design-based projects. It could be sewing-based projects. It could be fashion design. It could be culinary arts-based projects. So based on kids' interests, they will come in the space to do one of these projects.
Okay. I'm assuming you're talking about the experience center here.
Absolutely.
So the other question is, do all children who enroll into Dreamtime have access to these centers, and do they come as part of the entire package, or will they have to, enroll for it separately?
So we offer an international, brilliant education with absolutely superior learning outcomes at a lower price. And then if you want the experience center, we will have to charge separately for it because we have to pay a school rent or something for them to give us the space to use.
So these experience centers are going to be based in your in the schools that you've collaborated with.
In the schools that we're collaborating with, yes. And for us to actually be able to have an experience center, we need at least 10 kids in that area.
So what is the curriculum or board of affiliation you will adopt?
So kids can do Cambridge or they can do NIOS. So I'm actually board agnostic.
While admitting the fact that homeschooling and online schooling has become more popular over the last couple of years, there's still some amount of skepticism among parents to enroll their children. What is that one significant question you always get asked by parents who express interest?
One key question is about screen time.
Okay.
So I always explain to parents that everything is not equal,
Okay.
right? So all television watching is not equal. If you're sitting with your child and you're watching a documentary and you're engaging in conversation, it's very different to plonking your kid in front of the TV with cartoons. Yeah. There's a different brain development that happens here because this is active engagement and this is passive engagement. So one of the things we have to understand with parents being skeptical is two things. One is that they've actually just seen an offline school come online. So that is their total experience of online education. The second thing is that screen interaction is very different. Now, imagine what I'm able to do when I'm online with kids. I'm able to excite them. I'm able to engage them because there's no other distractions. Right now, you and I are not distracted by anything else. We're totally engaged. I'm able to mix up the media. So I'm not giving them the same form of conceptual understanding. Sometimes it's print, sometimes it's video, sometimes it's GIS, it's all sorts of things, right? Every school is saying, I have to make more money next year, so I need to sell textbooks. And it's not, something that I tried to do when I was at Billabong is look after your textbooks and sell them to the next child. Right?
Okay.
So if the textbook hasn't changed, and one of the things publishers do is keep changing the textbooks so that people just have to buy more. Now what I can do is my textbooks are online. I've created them.
Okay.
We don't have to, kids, you don't have to pay those excesses. So one of the things that people don't take into account is what is the base level of education you have to pay for? And then what are all the extras that you pay for that you don't have to pay for here? You don't have to pay for transport. You don't have to pay for a uniform. You don't have to pay for books. Yeah. And if you look at Cambridge books and things like that, they're fairly expensive. We've just created our own so that all of those things are not there.
Cutting down on transport expenses, textbooks and uniforms and all that. Now, how different is your fee structure going to be from a conventional school? And on an average, let's say per year, what would a parent be expected to shell out like?
So on an average, a parent pays 60,000
Okay.
For the online school.
Okay.
That's for a great teacher, the platform, the textbooks, everything included.
This will not include the experience center, right?
No. So this is your online. So anything that they have as a plus gets added to that, but that's by choice, right?
Okay.
So my CEO and I have come to do this because we both have this really strong sense of we both want this to be our impact piece before we drop dead. And so the profits from what we're doing are actually going to teach kids in rural areas of India.
Okay.
So as we speak, we're working out how do we take care of the language challenge? How do we take care of the internet bandwidth challenges? Yeah, we're solving for those pieces while we're doing this as a business. We're using, at least my sense of the investment and profits are all going back to the community.
All right. All right. This seems like a very interesting venture. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, we want as many people to shift to a conscious way of learning, to a conscious way of living, so that we can co-create a really conscious, connected future.
All right. Thank you so much for being with EducationWorld today, Lina. Thank you.
Thank you, Reshma.